We started from the bottom, now we're here now. Oh.
This is my butt right here.
Woo, woo, woo. And if you throw a party. No, 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 no.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Bitter Coffee. My name is Kelly Coffee.
I'm Darek Fanton. And we have a special guest in studio today who's been sitting here watching us be ridiculous for the last, I don't know, since I got here.
Well, I mean, 11 years.
11 years-ish, give or take. Michele Pilardi joins us on the microphone.
Yay.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome to Bitter Coffee. Make sure you speak directly into that mic because they're very sensitive and we want to make sure other people can hear you.
Thank you.
I'm the same way.
I'm very sensitive.
And I want
you
people
want
to
make
hear
sure
me.
people can hear you.
Can you hear me? I feel like you're listening, but you
podcast
don't
on?
hear me. Or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So it was a tough New Year's Eve as a result of Betty White's passing for everybody. She will be dearly missed, an absolute national treasure. I saw a lot of comments online about like there is nothing we can all agree on except about how we feel about Betty White.
And if you don't like Betty White, then you know what? Just stop listening
Just stop.
right now.
Stop listening to this podcast or any podcast
Any
or any
podcast.
art
Just
because you do not appreciate it.
Go live on a Tom Hanks island somewhere. Or like those young women in Yellow Jackets, which I know you haven't watched, but
Yes.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah, apparently I need to get on watching Yellow Jackets. You were describing it to me, and go start the description like you gave it to me to give to the people for anybody who hasn't seen Yellow Jackets. Or doesn't know
So
what it's
it's set in the 90s, and
about. Points for me already. I'm into that.
there's a group of young women in high school. They're on a soccer team. They're on their way to nationals. Their plane crashes.
Yep.
And they have to survive in the wilderness. Cut to present day,
Yep.
where 4 of them are still alive. But there's a group of like maybe 10 of them or more
Yep.
that survive the plane crash.
Right.
And you know, like one of the women, spoiler alert, whatever. One of them gets
Already
eaten by a
firing in.
wolf.
I mean that's a spoiler, but it's also
know?
like, well, now I have to watch the show.
Right.
Yeah. So when you started that description, sorry, I got to turn our on-air sign on.
We are officially
There we
on
go.
the air
we're on
now.
it. When you started out, I thought it was going to be like a We Are Marshall situation, which is about a plane crash that killed like most of a football team. And I thought that's what the show was going to be about. It was
No.
like the town coming to grips with the passing
No.
of all these young women. No, it's alive with a sports
Lord of the
team.
Flies.
It's an alive
Yeah.
Lord
There's
of
a
the
teen
Flies.
pregnancy.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
There's
so,
a same-sex
all right,
relationship.
Yellow
Yeah,
Jackets.
there's-
What particular streaming platform might I find Yellow Jackets on?
Showtime.
Showtime. The one I don't get. Cool. Got it.
Yeah.
That's the one that I don't get.
But I could see, maybe you could sign into my account.
We'll have to look into that.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Apple, ignore that if you report to the other authorities.
Right.
Let's just ignore that.
lights back on. There's
So
Betty.
that's Betty. Betty's spirit is with us today as
Yeah.
the lights in the Bitter Coffee studio continue to be somewhat unreliable. Just that one light bulb.
It's just
all
the one.
other lights are great. Just that one light bulb.
And I have chosen to do absolutely
I think that's the right
nothing
choice.
about it,
I think
right?
that is 100% the right choice and also the way I would go as well.
I can't believe you haven't called the landlord yet.
Well, you know what? She's not very reliable.
Oh!
Heyo.
Thanks for being with us.
Yep. All right, so
For
Michele,
the record, Michele pointed to the bell on her
Here.
own there.
we can share.
I don't
yeah, if
have
you guys
one.
want to do a community bell
There
in the
we
middle
go.
there.
Oh.
There you go. Put it
Thank you.
right there. So anyway,
All right.
so Michelle's a funny
Authority.
story. So yesterday,
Yeah.
I was cleaning my apartment because I like to start the new year. You know, I'm just going to preface this by saying I'm very well rested. However, what is 2 thumbs and stayed up until 9:15 on New Year's Eve?
Oh my goodness.
This gal.
Wow.
9:15.
Is that the latest you've stayed up in
I'd
recent
say like
remembrance?
half a decade.
Okay.
Right?
9:15.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, I was in bed by like 8 o'clock.
sure.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean, let's
I'm
not be
getting through
crazy.
the current season of Billions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then
Gracie Lawrence in Billions, I believe. So you heard me talk about Lawrence, the band, which I really like, who is playing at Higher Ground in February, and I'm hoping to go see. She is also an actress, and so she is in Billions. And she was in that show, I think, this last season. Sorry, your computer cord unplugged here next to me.
I mean, what are you going to do?
There we go. Yeah, so anyway, look out for her. I'd never not watched that show. We're just jumping into talking TV. So
Jump right into it.
so yeah.
I have a red exclamation point.
Okay, on your computer. It might be because it was unplugged, and now it is plugged back in.
That's fine.
So you should be good now.
Something about having trouble loading something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
same.
There we go.
So anyway, so okay, Billions, enjoying that show. Good. I have not seen that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So prior to that, I was cleaning my apartment, and I was in like this spare room, which I call the grow room. But this building used to be like a grocery store or a convenience store or something. So it's
a walk-in cooler.
It used to be the walk-in cooler.
Walk-in cooler. Yes. If you've been listening to us from the start, I believe we gave a little bit of history of the building once upon a time on the show before.
Once or twice, we may have just kind of skimmed the surface.
That there is like essentially what used to be a walk-in cooler for the general store that used to be this place.
So no windows, no
windows.
So grow room is inappropriate.
Yeah. So that's where my drum kit is set up. And it's an electronic drum kit.
Sure.
As Tim Chang has played.
Indeed. Yes, he did. Yep.
So yesterday I was like, you know what? I want to go play for a little while.
Nice.
And I guess I knew this, but didn't really know this. If you don't use stuff like that for a while, like things tend to loosen up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kelly looked to her left where the bell normally is. It's now on her right. I got there. Don't worry.
So I figured, all right, I'll just tighten up a few of these little screws here.
Sure.
Crank it a half a turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So when I would tighten one end, the other side would collapse.
Okay.
So I cannot lift my arms above my shoulders today.
Okay.
Because I picked it up. First of all, I crushed it like all together.
Okay, the entire drum kit.
Entire drum kit.
Michele is making the motions of someone like kneading a large piece of dough into a ball.
That's exactly what it was.
Yep, okay.
And I threw it across the room.
Much more doable with an electronic drum kit, I will say.
Yeah. I think a regular one would have taken a lot more time.
So you went from these are a little out of position to they are a crumpled heap in the corner.
Yep. And I threw it 3 times.
Meanwhile, I'm in the garage and I'm like, what
is happening?
Well, the people upstairs are moving.
Okay.
So I thought maybe that was it. But
Sure.
I had to do this.
Michelle's now cupping her
I can
hand
picture
to
her
her
like,
ear.
you know when you have like a smoke detector and you're trying to figure out like which one it is? Like
You're echolocating by moving your head back and forth to try
and
to
like
triangulate.
hands are all splayed out and your eyes are all big.
You're trying to feel the noise. Yeah, hang on. Let me just take my shoes off and see if I can feel the vibrations
Everybody
of the direction
quiet.
of the noise. Everybody in the neighborhood be quiet.
And
Okay.
so I follow the noise
Yeah.
to the back door. Go in.
Sorry. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
And go in.
Hang on.
And
Wait,
there-
I can't. Follow the noise to the back door. New episode title. Let's start.
There we go. I'm gonna write it down.
Write it down.
Thank you.
And I open the door, and there's the drum set in the rat's nest in the doorway. And I'm like, oh, that's what's making all that noise.
I can't play drums, but I also can't leave this room now.
You're absolutely
Locked herself in.
This is where I live
This
now.
is where I live now.
So I poke my head in. And there's Kelly sweating.
I'm sweating.
Sweating. She's in a t-shirt and jeans, literally dripping.
Sweating.
Like, and I said, "What's going on?" And she's like, "I'm just trying to hang up a towel that's wet." I was like, "I don't know how that works with the drum kit." So
That's a drum kit, not a drying rack.
well, she's like, it is now. Like, she's like, throw it away. Throw it away. It's broken. I'm
away.
like,
And there's like cords everywhere.
so let's take a couple deep breaths. We did some breathing. We kind of.
I was asked to leave the room.
Yes. I was like,
point.
can you please leave for a second? Let me see if I can unsnarl this thing. We get it kind of.
And I was doing the whole like, but I only wanna. And she's like, no, you don't wanna.
No.
You're
You don't.
sweating on me. I was like, just go. Get out of this
It was a hot room.
Get out of this space, both literally and figuratively.
It was a hot box.
It's a hot box.
So
Oh my god.
then I proceeded to ask, "Hey, where are those wrenches that came with the with the drum
With the
kit?
drum
Like there
kit,
was like
yeah.
a couple of things and some sticks." And she's like, "I don't know. I don't fucking know." And I'm like, "All right." And I said, "Well, what's that bag right above your head behind you on the wall?"
Yeah.
Oh, she grabs it. There are the wrenches.
It's the wrenches.
I take them and I tighten some stuff up, and we're all fine.
Good.
Drum, nothing was broken. Nobody was
Shockingly.
harmed. Nobody was harmed in the incident.
Which is bizarre.
Physically harmed. There was
Yeah.
some mental harm.
All
Sounds
of
like.
my injuries are emotional.
I mean, Kelly can't lift her hands above her head today,
No, I
but
can't.
you know.
I know you all are not on TikTok, but there is a new current TikTok trend of it's a clip from some Asian show, a game show or sitcom or something, and it's people who have like recorded themselves having some terrible experience or someone saying something awful, and then it cuts to this guy going, "Emotional damage."
Oh my God, yeah.
And so, like, if someone had been
this
documenting
would fit
this,
that.
it would have immediately
Oh.
then cut to emotional damage. So, good. Well,
And there's me like sweaty standing in a hallway.
Yep.
hugging yourself,
Yep.
rocking back and forth. So, did you play any drums?
Oh,
Did.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I could
Yeah.
just imagine you being like, well, we got the drums set up, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. She
No, I played for a
I
while.
left. I got
Nice.
out. I got
Yep,
out of there.
good,
And,
yeah.
yep.
Good.
So,
And
Glad
then
to
this
hear it.
morning proceeded to show me her heartbeats on her phone
yeah.
From yesterday.
from
Yeah.
yesterday. I got the, this is me normally. It was like 60 or 70.
Here's
And
right
then-
around when I went to play the drums.
It's like 141. I'm not even lying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know this, if you pick up an electric drum kit and throw it across the room, your heart rate will increase.
A lot of anaerobic activity happening there.
It's cardio.
Yeah. You got a workout
It's
yesterday.
a high intensity workout.
Oh my
High
gosh.
intensity interval workout.
Are you sure that's not the new gym?
It's in fact the drum
I don't
kit.
know.
Maybe it's a double, that could be a
Maybe.
marketing technique for them.
Treadmill, spin bike, drum kit thrown in the air.
Maybe get the Peloton on that.
Here's the thing. It doesn't have far to go. You know what I mean? I threw it maybe a foot.
Right.
It was so goddamn satisfying. And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh my god, what if I broke this?"
Right. And then you're just angry at yourself for
Yeah.
losing
Yeah.
control. But
So-
as long as you felt better and it ended up working out,
Felt great. I'm sore,
clearly
feel
it got a
great.
good workout.
Yeah,
More so than just playing the
yeah.
drums,
I've used angry muscles I didn't even know I had.
which is saying something because you're well aware of some of your other angry muscles.
Yes, I am. I don't even know if that applies.
I don't know either, but we'll let others extrapolate.
Felt natural. So, once again,
Yes.
Michele, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Michele, for being there to document and being here to document for everyone else.
Thank you.
We would lose these stories if not for Michele.
Oh God, we would bury them.
Yes, we would.
Thanks, Michele.
Thanks, Michele. You're the best.
I'm out.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, the Pilardi Foundation
yeah.
in the flesh. Thank you so much. We even got out an actual mic for you today.
Yep.
Much to everyone's chagrin, but we
Third Mike
appreciate you.
Pilardi.
All right, I'm going to leave that there.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
guys,
perfect.
love ya.
Bye,
See you,
love
Michele.
too.
Thank you.
Bye. Follow the noise to the back door. So that was our New Year's Eve.
So this was, what time was this? Was this mid-afternoon? How
It was
far
about 2
before the
o'clock.
9:15
About 2
bedtime?
p.m.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm in the wind down phase.
So you might have been able to make it to 10 had it not been for the drumming.
Maybe. Yeah,
It's possible.
for the fit of rage. But for the fit of rage, I would have made it to a full 2 hours before the beginning of the new year.
But for the fit of rage, the Kelly coffee story.
There you go.
So once again, you have graciously provided us with typed notes. And can I just say, when I come in here and, set my coffee down or whatever I happen to have on a given day when we're recording and I see that there are notes, that makes me so happy to be doing this podcast with you.
Oh.
Because the whole drive
Good to
over
know.
here, I'm thinking, I have nothing to talk about. I slept so little last night because we were we generally try to stay up until midnight on New Year's Eve. And
Sure.
We don't, there's no real purpose to that other than to just look at each other and be like, we did it. We made it. Hannah and I just say we did it. We made it through another year. The only thing that was different last night was that Gwen is not good at sleeping. She is a toddler. She loves to stay up as late as she possibly can. But last night we knew we were going to be up anyway, so it was kind of refreshing, just like, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to have an ice cream sandwich at 8:15? Go ahead.
Fine.
It's fine.
You want to throw a drum kit across the room? Go right ahead.
Right. Think about what Aunt
You want
Kelly's
to
doing
smash
right
a
now.
guitar? Why not?
Here's an ukulele. Go ahead and just smash that against the kitchen table, would you?
Aloha.
Mahalo on this wonderful New Year's Eve. So we were just kind of like, whatever you want to do. And then she ended up kind of putting herself to bed at, I don't know, 10:30, something like that. But then she was up and down, and it was just like...
So your toddler was up later than me.
Yeah. That's where I was headed, is yes. Gwenny definitely made it closer to the new year than you did. But hey, you know what? It's not a competition, Kelly.
No, it's not. I'll talk to her about it later. It's fine.
So yeah, the point is that I am just exhausted and I had nothing to talk about. So I'm so excited to see that you've got great notes here and so many things that I am very interested to discuss.
Okay.
But the first thing that's on here is like New Year's resolutions. I asked you if you had any. The first thing you said to me when I came in the door was like, "Let's just get through this."
Yeah.
And you weren't talking the podcast.
No,
you weren't talking
let's just
the
get
day.
through the goddamn
let's just
year.
Get through the year. And I couldn't agree more. Let's just all resolve now to get through 2022 in the best shape as we possibly can.
And let's stop encouraging one another. Right?
We got to do this of our own accord.
If you don't feel like doing something, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do the whole like,
what
you've never given up before. Why now? Have you been alive for the last 2 years?
Gestures broadly to everything.
Exactly. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
Just leave people alone.
Leave people alone. # leave people alone.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
it.
If you want to do cool stuff, great. If you want to share that you're doing those things, also fine. As soon as you delve into, hey, you know what you should do? Just
No.
stop. Just stop and let people be whatever they want to be and do whatever they want to do. I agree. We're all just trying to do our best. We hope that you are out there as well. And even if you're not trying to do your best, also fine. If you're like striving for mediocrity, great. Good for you. We support you.
A lot of people that I've talked to in the past week and a half who have tested positive for COVID. So I'm trying to figure out, like, is it... Because now, I have, of course I had a headache. Of course I had a sore throat.
Sure.
Because that's what happens during dry winters here in Vermont. But all of a sudden I was like, well, okay.
Right.
I have to go to the hospital now.
Gotta go see a doctor about this.
I was
sneeze.
tested.
Uh-huh.
Tested negative once again.
Yeah. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yep.
Some friends of mine, I don't want to mention them by name.
No, let's
they
not
are
call
regular
out,
listeners.
HIPAA.
Yeah, can't. But one of them had tested positive.
Yes.
And now I think, like, what point is it just, oh, you have COVID versus like a generic version of COVID, just like, oh, it's the flu.
Called the flu, right?
Oh, no, it's not COVID anymore. Because I noticed, I was watching the news this morning, and they're referring to it as the virus.
The virus.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're already downplaying it in 2022.
Yep, we're already there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, as we continue to roll through the dregs of season 4 of COVID,
Oh, my God.
it's going to have to evolve, and kind of we're sort of there.
Yeah.
I got a booster the other day, and I went to Kinney. I had gone to the state injections prior when I got my actual shots, but then just went to Kinney Drugs. And what a fascinating study in humans it is to spend... I was there probably 45 minutes because it was so busy. To spend 45 minutes at a pharmacy, I overheard things and learned stuff about strangers that I had no business knowing.
Yeah.
We said HIPAA, or I said HIPAA earlier. Like the amount of information that is freely shared about human beings at a pharmacy is disturbing.
Like, do people think that because you're talking to the pharmacist, like, there are invisible walls?
Right, there's some sort of sound isolation technology in play.
It's weird.
Yeah, I was
That's a really great point.
I was 10 feet from the counter because I'm sitting waiting for the pharmacist to like come actually give me my shot after I checked in and everything. And like, I probably heard 24 conversations from patients to the pharmacist about what they were taking and what it was for and how they were feeling and all of that. And like, I tend to be one of those people who can't really tune out neighboring conversations. I don't have that skill. I wish I did. But I learned about, I learned about some really nasty foot ailments. I learned about some erectile dysfunction. Which was freely shared in a way that I was kind of both impressed and terrified by.
Lean into it.
I guess. And it was quite an experience to be there and see humanity. Also, shout out to like the other dozen people who were there to get their boosters and things like that. But it was just quite a mix of conversation. If you ever are really bored and want to do some incredible people watching, just like hang out around a pharmacy. Some of the things you'll learn, you'll wish you didn't. So
it's a rough crowd at the my local pharmacy here in Winooski.
Really? Yeah.
There's always somebody who's cutting in line
in
front of everybody else because
they feel like their ailment is more important.
Or they pretend like they didn't see the 15 people walking down an aisle behind them.
Or they, quote, just have a quick question. Yeah. As if anyone else's questions.
I called. They said this is ready to pick up.
Right.
Not realizing that, or maybe they do realize the other 20 people waiting are all in the same boat.
It's all about confidence. If you just go into a place, we talked about this with the grocery store thing, like you just go, you walk in, you spill things in your bag and you leave.
You walk out.
Like you walk the hell out. That's the thing is people are just like, I just have a quick question. It's like, well, there are 15 people here whose questions may be quick. They may not be, but they're just as important as yours. So.
And it's never a quick question.
No,
when you preface it
not.
with, I just have a quick question, that tells me and everybody else in the entire universe, it's not going to be quick.
Where can I find these 4 things you've never heard of?
Right.
And are also not your responsibility in the neighboring aisles here at the pharmacy. Any idea?
Or I didn't have this prescription filled here.
Right.
And I took it a couple of years ago, but now whatever I was taking it for is back. And I was wondering, do I need a new prescription? Can you refill that for me?
I no longer see that doctor anymore. I'm also at a different address and I've changed my name. Could you help me just real quick?
And I have a list of other medical conditions that need to be considered. Can you just refill no, I don't even have the bottle. Can you just, I need I don't know, I think they gave me 90.
Yeah, I had 8 months.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Prescription for that, if you could, please. That'd be great.
It's kind of ridiculous. And I love the people that, when they get the prescription filled, they'll also do, a little bit of grocery shopping.
Yes. Can I pay for these here?
Right.
Can I also pay for these here? Those are also fascinating group purchases as well. Can I get my anxiety medication? Props to you. That's what I take.
Box of wine.
Nutter Butters.
Little Ritz crackers and an easy cheese.
Yep.
Right?
This nail polish and this frozen Lego kit. Please.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm going to need a bag.
And no, I will not pay the 10 cents.
You know what I think it's time for?
What time is it?
I think it's time for the Chang
Report.
Report.
I think it is time for the Chang Report. So Tim has wished us all a happy new year, and I hope he has something wonderful for us today. I'm sure that he does.
I feel like it's New Year's Day based.
It may very well be. He did just send a message with the link to the Chang Report and Happy New Year, friendos. By the way, always great. I can't say ukulele normally. You heard me say it earlier, ukulala. And that's now the only way I can say it. Thank you, Tim. So yeah, let's get into the Chang Report and see what Tim's got for us today.
3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Ooh.
Shout out to Mo Citro.
Cello.
The Chang Report.
So good.
God damn, that's good.
Oh, and there's a gong now.
Jesus Christ. Every week. It gets better.
It really does. It really does.
Well, we did it, everybody. If you are listening to this right now, you have successfully graduated to the year of 2022.
Hell yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank
Likewise.
you.
Congrats.
It hasn't been particularly pretty, especially towards the latter half of the year. But, a W is a W. I suppose. And as we look out over the year set out before us, some of us begin to look at what we would like to set as a New Year's
go.
resolution.
Oh boy,
knew it.
I had
I
a
knew
feeling.
it.
Yep.
Now, is this generally us setting ourselves up for our own failure? For me, it certainly is.
Yeah, likewise.
Not everybody fails at their New Year's resolutions. I happen to know people who have succeeded. And for them, I applaud you. And I would actually like to request 3 chimes of the That's What She Said bell, Kelly, in their honor. Thank you.
Long distance spell request.
Excellent.
I love it.
Salute to the heroes. So I've been thinking about my New Year's resolutions, and I think that I'm going to set 2 this year, knowing my own track record, and that it is very likely I'm going to fail. If I set 2, then, increase the probability of success or multiply the likelihood of failure, but
sure.
that's not relevant right now. We're just talking about goal setting.
Day
right?
1.
So I'll share them with you now. And if you'd like to adopt them as your own, either of them or both,
Very interesting.
please feel free. It's always nice to have a support system, particularly when you're staring down the barrel of your own failure.
Not sure. Again, not
First resolution.
100% on that one.
Feels right.
I am going to launch a full-on campaign to insert Dingbat back into the common vernacular.
Sign me up.
Dingbat.
I've been throwing it around a little bit lately, and I gotta tell
I love
you,
it.
there is nothing quite like calling someone a dingbat. It's got a nice 2 hard syllables in there.
Yep.
Dingbat.
Yeah, hard D, hard B. Yeah, I like it.
And I feel like it just describes something or someone in a very specific way.
It's also
And,
great font.
don't get me wrong. I'm not above using expletives to describe someone or at someone. I'm not saying I'm better than you because I want to say dingbat. I mean, honorable mention to shithead. I think we got to start bringing that one back.
That's good. That is a
That
good one.
one's fun.
It's a classic.
But,
It's a little more,
yeah.
a little more current as well.
I think that we need to be using dingbat more often.
can get
I
behind
think that people would feel better having a new old word to throw around. And, sometimes it's good to just switch it up.
I like it.
I mean, everything's cyclical, right? Flare friggin' jeans and pants up to your nipples are coming back. Neon colors and friggin' nut huggers. Those are all coming back, so why can't we bring Dingbat back? You know what I'm saying?
Sure do.
Hashtag Dingbat back 22.
Make Dingbat
Join
again.
me. And my second resolution, I think, is going to be a little bit harder.
That one is pretty low
You
bar.
can't believe it, than bringing Dingbat back. But this has to stop. It's not good for me. It's not good for anybody else. And I'm misleading people. I'm misleading myself. And it's just an all-around quite poor situation that
quite
I
a wind-up.
need to
Yeah,
reconcile.
I'm really interested now.
I find myself in conversation with friends, colleagues, random strangers every once in a while.
Assholes at
Dingbats.
the grocery store. Dingbats.
They will say to me,
Parade goers.
have you seen insert TV show or series or insert movie? Which is almost always followed by some flavor of, oh my God, it's so fucking good. Or, are you serious?
Yeah.
You have to watch it.
Accurate.
And as a reflex, as a societal reflex,
Oh,
I will say something
he's
like,
gonna say there's
oh
no
yeah,
list.
well, what is it on?
Oh, okay.
Right? Because you got Netflix,
Yep. We just
Prime,
went through this.
Hulu,
Yep.
Disney Plus,
Yep.
Paramount Plus, the friggin' Peacock,
Yeah.
Tubi, I don't know, whatever.
Tubi.
Showtime, which no one gets except you.
Just me.
And they will tell me, and then I will come back and say the dumbest shit that I could possibly say. Oh, well, I'll have to put that on my list.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. The list that does not
No, you
exist.
don't, Chang. You know why? Because you don't have a list. There is no list. And I realize that this function exists in some of these streaming platforms where there could be a list, but I don't have one. And
Right.
the reason I don't have one is because I don't watch shit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying, well, I don't watch bad programming or things that are stupid or whatever. I don't watch anything.
Yeah, right.
I
he really
suck
watches nothing?
at
Not
watching
really.
things.
Yeah.
I know this about
I don't think I've
myself.
ever talked TV with Tim, ever. Really.
I haven't seen Squid Game. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Schitt's Creek.
Me neither.
It's tough. That's a tough
I
one.
haven't seen whatever is floating around in your brain right now that I should have seen, quote unquote. I haven't seen it, and I'm not gonna.
Kelly, you and Tim, another thing you have in common.
And I
just you with
cannot
movies.
continue to misrepresent myself
Fair.
Yeah.
and tell people I'm going to put it on a list that A, doesn't exist, and if it did, I wasn't going to watch anything on there anyway. And I know I'm not the first person to have this idea.
Neglected
I'm not
non-mist.
claiming that it's an original thought that I came up with, but I do believe that it simply must stop.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, Tim. Yeah, I do the same thing. Do that with people at work.
So
all the
there you
time.
go. Those are my two resolutions. One, I'm bringing Dingbat back.
Yeah.
And if you heard that to the tune of Sexy Baby, I have been successful in my endeavor. And two, no more putting it on the list that doesn't exist. It is completely full of lies. So from all of us here at Shangri-La Studios, I'd like to wish you a wonderful 2022. I wish you all of this success in your resolutions, should you choose to put your fate in your own hands in such a fashion. And thank you for your time. Dingbat.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you as always.
Once again.
Coming through. with
Dropping
the Chang
truth
report.
bombs.
Yeah, nothing but facts coming from Tim today. Yeah, the list thing is a real. I've discussed this as well. I do actually have somewhere in my notes app a long running list of shows and TV and music and stuff that
I don't doubt that.
I'm never gonna watch
No.
or listen to.
I think I've stopped saying I have to put that on my list.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, because I talked to you and I talked to Michelle. And
Let's see, talk to
that's
her.
really it.
Yeah, right.
I think I say something along the lines of, "Oh, I should put that on my." Right,
You
there's
like-
like an effort, but then by the end of the
You
sentence,
trail
I'm
off
like, you know
before
what?
you even get to the end of the sentence. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, I should,
That's not gonna happen.
As I'm like rolling my eyes.
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like, you know that, and I think you and I have talked about this, people that yawn mid-sentence.
Oh god.
You know, this is one of my pet peeves, right?
Yes.
I mean, I know I have a million, and for those of you who are saying like, "Oh, another pet peeve," shut up. For Christ's sake, what podcast have you been listening to?
Let me live,
Right?
says Kelly to
Just
all of you.
let me live. When people yawn mid-sentence, you know what? I can wait.
Yeah. Stop talking.
Yeah, just get through your yawn and then finish your sentence.
There's no way I heard what you were saying in the 8 seconds or however freaking long it took you to yawn there. Just stop. I'll
Just
wait
stop.
here. I'll
Put
be
a
here when
hand
you
up and
come
be like,
back.
you know what? I need a second. Because my face, I can't hide it. When somebody yawns mid-sentence, it's
Yeah.
eyes are rolling back of my head onto the floor.
Here we go.
Yep. Jesus Christ. It's my Jesus Christ face. And Michelle had pointed out something to me just the other day.
Okay.
She said, every time I listen to your show, I realize you say Jesus Christ a lot. I'm like, but this is also true in my life,
Right.
not behind the microphone.
Right. It's not part of my character.
No,
on
it's
the
either like a
show.
Jesus Christ or a God damn it, or they're really
Yeah.
stupid.
All valid responses to
Or-
stimulus.
Dingbats.
Dingbats. Fucking dingbats. I like that a lot.
Dingbat.
I'm definitely gonna work towards bringing Dingbat back.
There was a show. Yeah. There was a show, and someone, I think they were like in this, 1950s or 60s or 70s abusive relationship on a TV sitcom,
Sure.
and they would call, was it the Honeymooners?
What was it? What would they say?
Dingbat.
Oh, Dingbat. Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Might have been.
Yeah, we were talking about the Honeymooners the other day because like that show's catchphrase is built on domestic violence.
Yeah. Like punching her in the face
Bang zoom to the moon.
so hard that she leaves the Earth's atmosphere. And people are like, oh, that's so
and then it's like
funny.
fucking cue the laugh track. Like
Yeah.
that's gold.
Hilarious, they thought it was. I was watching Golden Girls, R.I.P.
Oh gosh, yeah, it's so hard now.
I was watching a couple episodes of the Golden Girls, as millions of us did yesterday after
Yep.
we heard the news.
Yeah.
Again, it's another sitcom in the 80s. I'm like, they would not get away with this
Yeah,
now.
none of this is okay.
Like, I think the mom, what's her name? Estelle Getty.
Estelle Getty. Yep.
She refers to the gay man who like basically lives in the kitchen and cooks for them.
Right. Yep.
She said, "Oh, he's a nice petunia."
Whoa.
But what I did realize, because I started season 1, episode 1, the amount of character development they did in like 22 minutes is amazing. I learned things I didn't know before.
Yeah.
That B. Arthur was a substitute teacher.
Oh.
Betty
interesting.
White, grief counselor.
Oh. That's hilarious.
Rue McClanahan worked in a museum.
What?
And Sophia, Estelle Getty,
Sophia, yeah.
she had, and this was like in conversation as like a doorbell was ringing.
Okay.
And Sophia's like walking from the kitchen to the living room.
Yeah.
She had a stroke,
Oh.
and one of the after effects or side effects or whatever was that she can't censor herself when she speaks. So all those like quippy things that she
Oh
said
my
for several
gosh.
seasons, it's all based
It's
on
a medical condition.
It's a medical condition.
And they only talked about it probably in that first
That was
episode.
it. Like
That was
all of
it.
that information I gathered, and like Betty White
Wow.
and B. Arthur, like they found the place to live with Rue
Oh,
McClanahan at the
okay.
same time. It's Rue McClanahan's house.
That's really interesting because you don't think about like how did these 4 women end up here? I don't-
Right.
like that. They're just there. They are existed there forever.
Sophia's house. She lived in like a retirement community. Her house burned down. So she came to live with the other 3
Wow.
women. This is all in episode 1.
This is amazing. So I think that if there's no stronger cosign for everyone going and watching episode 1 of the Golden Girls.
Even if you watch
learn
none
so
of the
much.
other episodes
Yeah.
and none of the other seasons,
So much context
I
being
learned
set.
so much.
A lot of modern movie makers could learn a lot from the episode 1, season 1, episode 1 of the Golden Girls. Just like get your exposition out of the way right up front and just move on.
A lot I learned. And then
Yeah.
Michelle and I were trying to compare, because people have done this, Sex and the City to the Golden Girls. We're trying to figure out like which character is who.
yeah.
I don't see Sarah Jessica Parker as a B. Arthur.
Okay.
But that's how it all lined up for
Right,
me.
right.
Like by default.
Sure,
The other
sure.
3 were already taken.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
By
I
process of
know
elimination.
that the Scooby Gang,
Okay.
they're named, they're kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Emulated? I don't know. Compared to whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Come on, 2022. Give me a break.
Cut me some slack. Brain fog.
Right.
The hell.
I've been on semester break for 2 weeks. They've like matched them up to
Yeah.
the 5 sister schools.
Gotcha.
And you know what? Here's a little project for everybody. Go look it up on your own.
I'm not here. I'm not here to break it all down
Yeah.
for you, okay?
I can't hold your hand through everything. Especially pop culture. I can't do it.
we were talking. We were just talking about like getting exposition out of the way. And I've not prepped you for this, so I have no idea what your reaction is going to be. But what are again based on my knowledge of you and your media?
Do you need to move in
consumption-
upstairs? Is
No,
that
no,
what you're saying?
no.
Because
This is directly related to.
it's available.
I understand it's available now.
Okay.
Matrix. Did you see the original Matrix? I do not care about the other 2 movies. I'm asking, did you see the original Matrix film?
I did.
Okay. Do you remember anything about it?
Well, I remembered that the first time, and this really puts a timestamp on me. I saw it in a movie theater.
Sure.
And
Same. Yeah.
I had no idea what the hell was going on.
That's so many.
You know what I mean?
Did not.
Visually
Yeah.
pleasing.
Sure. Yeah. Interesting
And
to
a
look
lot
at.
of them like, oh, this woman broke her ankle doing that scene. Like, I love stuff like that.
Yeah. The IMDb trivia is your real
stuff.
home when you're watching those films. Yeah.
And then I just watched the first one again with Michele.
Oh, okay.
And when I say watched, what I mean is we think it's a really great idea. Yeah, you know what? That new one's coming out. Let's watch all of them.
Yeah.
I'm 20 minutes in and I'm asleep.
Sure.
And I've been doing this thing lately because when I go over to Michelle's, she has 2 couches in her living room.
Yeah.
As,
As
people do.
All people should, really.
And I try and hide the fact that I'm falling asleep. I don't know why. I don't know why I do this.
No, I get that.
Right?
I completely
So
get
I'm
that.
like, I'll do this. I'm like, I put my arm up, like,
Kelly is sort of putting her forehead into the underside of her elbow. So
I'm kind of shielding my eyes from
shielding
the
her
sun
eyes from the
slash
sun.
saluting my father if I were John Kennedy Jr. Right?
Yes, exactly. That's well described. But you don't want Michele to know that you're falling asleep, even though she's maybe also
gonna find
falling
out.
asleep, and she's gonna find out.
She's gonna find out eventually.
There's no way to hide that.
And then I wake up maybe with 10 minutes left.
Sure.
You know what I say
Sure.
every single time? Ooh, what did I miss?
What did I miss from the entire movie?
Or
Probably could have just cut to the chase. At the beginning.
alternatively,
Look that up online.
last 10 minutes, I'm like, that was amazing. I'd watch that again.
I'd watch that again / for the first time.
Yeah. So to answer my long-winded answer to your very specific question is yes.
Yes, I have
seen-
air quotes seen it. Gotcha.
But I still don't know what the hell they're talking
Well,
about.
I was asking because the new one did come out, and Hannah and I were both very excited to see it. We're in this new fun era of like you can stream stuff when it comes out.
Right.
So we have HBO Max, so we were able to watch the new Matrix movie when it came out. It's not good. But
Oh.
it is extremely self-referential for like especially for the first film and a couple of things from the sequels. It's a very, if you are into the Matrix, like if you like really had a close tie to that movie and really enjoyed it and enjoyed the series, even if you didn't love the sequels, but you you were down to watch them when they came out, it's worth watching. We were discussing the idea of is good what we're going for? Are we in a post-good era as it relates to movies? Oh. Like, does a movie need to be good for you to enjoy watching it? And I'm realizing more and more that like some of the stuff that I watch, because it is so like sequelized and so universe related, this goes back to all the Marvel movies too. It's like it doesn't even need to be good anymore. Like it doesn't need to be a objectively good movie for me to be like, well, I'm glad I saw that. I liked it.
like
I
it's
liked
visually
watching it.
appealing.
Sure, but like, or does something different or new. The new Matrix movie, I'm not going to spoil anything by saying like it's about Neo and Trinity, and it's about their relationship, and it is borderline not even an action film. I would say it's
okay.
like a weird sci-fi rom-com.
With like a little bit of like a Hallmark splashed
A
in.
little bit. There's a
Right.
lot of like destined to be together, love conquers all kind of messaging throughout, which is a weird thing to say for a
In
Matrix
this
movie.
reality or
Well,
in their alternate reality?
What is reality, really? Like,
Piano.
you said something earlier, and I wanted to say there is no spoon. I can't remember what you were talking about, but it that's what brought this whole thing up, because it was like, yeah, there is nothing I can say that will make anyone who hasn't seen it or doesn't want to see it. But I will say, for people who are kind of on the fence about whether they should check it out, give it a watch. You might like it. The other thing we're watching right now is the Harry Potter movies, because there's a reunion. Kelly is shrugging. I wasn't going to bother to ask if you've seen all 8 Harry Potter films.
Oh, there's 8? Is there 8? Oh my God.
8 Harry. Right? Everyone out there who's mad at me now because I got that wrong. I think there's 8. 7 books, 8 movies, I believe. It's either that or 6 books, 7 movies. 7, 8 sounds better. So I think that's what it is.
All I hear is like numbers. Like the whole concept is
I'm not here to
lost
do
on me.
math on the podcast,
Yeah.
Derek. But yeah, so we're watching the early Harry Potter movies, because those are fine for Gwenny to like kind of watch or have on in the background as she does other things.
Sure.
She loves Hermione. She loves Hedwig, who is Harry Potter's owl.
Oh.
Which is problematic. I won't spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen.
I have a feeling it doesn't end well for the owl.
The 20-year-old movies I don't want to spoil, but Hedwig doesn't make it. And so that's a sticky wicket that we're going to have to deal with at some point. But it's been fascinating to watch these movies again, because my early experiences with the Harry Potter films were when I was working at a record store.
Yes.
I was working at FYE, and
Hard flex.
Yeah, you know. Listen, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I did spend 2.5 years as a manager at an FYE in Newington, New
Work
Hampshire.
in the music industry.
I was in the industry for a period of time, and they were on. We put them on the TVs, and they just ran nonstop.
Did you have people that would
especially
come
during the
in and
holidays.
just watch them?
Yes, people who would be like mid-shop and just like stand, or even like outside the store. Those were always the weirdest people to me. Like, I don't know if they felt like they were going to be hard sold to if they came in, but they would stand in the hallways of the mall and like watch the movie. Like, you're just blocking the entrance at this point. Just come in.
Could they even hear it at that point?
Yeah, just barely.
Okay.
Yeah, I never understood those folks. But yeah, so my early impressions of those movies were always just watching, like having them on in the background and just being like, I don't know what is happening here.
Right.
I have no idea. So in rewatching them now, I'm getting like, similar to your Golden Girls backstory, like the first movie, so many things make more sense because I've now watched that first movie, like really watched it. I'm like, oh, that's how he got with those horrible muggles. And that's how he found out about Voldemort. And like all those things that I think are fascinating now that I never would have known if we hadn't been rewatching them. But the Harry Potter movies are very holiday centric, much like Lord of the Rings for us. And so we always put those on during the holidays, and now Gwenny is kind of into the Harry Potter stuff.
She's into it.
So, do you have like movies that are not necessarily holiday movies that you watch, or media that you consume that is seasonal for you? Is there anything like that for you?
Oh, that's a great question. Reluctantly, I will say that because a lot of times I'll just like put on The Office and have that in the background.
Sure. Yeah.
But lately, I've been watching. God, I don't even know why, because I have problems. Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Ooh.
And from the vault, like season 1, season 2,
Or
like the film's like all like grainy. You know what I mean? And,
the Real Housewives Criterion collection.
Exactly. And I realized that I gained this odd pleasure as somebody who threw a drum set across the room. That I just enjoy when they start arguing with one another, because when they try and argue, like they're not too bright, some of them.
No.
I know.
Not the Real Housewives.
So they'll try and like, one of the women was singing Amazing Grace, and she said, who saved a wench like me. And then another one she had a cookbook come out, and she said, well, I like to keep things simple, but I don't like a lot of ingredients. Right? So you could see like what the draw is for me. Right? And she also said during, I don't know, one of the episodes, I'm as cool as a whistle. Right?
What?
Yeah. And I guess it was like clean as a whistle, cool as a cucumber.
Sure.
And then she just kind of like mashed them together.
A phrase portmanteau. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. So.
As someone who frequently says that train has sailed, I can understand
But
cool
that
as a
train
whistle.
has sailed. It has. Yeah, so
That's cool. So your holiday go-to
it's
right
weird.
now
And then
is Real
Billions.
Housewives. Yeah.
I started to rewatch Homeland.
Oh, okay.
But here's the problem with that. There's the same actor in both.
Oh.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't he
weird. No,
so
yeah, I couldn't do that.
I can't.
No,
so I
my
get
brain,
super confused.
Yeah, my brain would have a real problem with that.
I do have a book that I wanted to talk with you about.
Okay.
Not one of those people who's like, I'm going to read more this year.
Listen, I'll put it on my list.
Yeah. Here, get your phone out. Put it on your list.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm doing it right now. You can't tell what I am.
It is on my bookshelf.
Okay.
Because I've run out of room.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Kelly has a very robust bookshelf happening here in the Bitter Coffee Studios. Okay, so.
James Patterson wrote a book,
Okay.
The Last Days of John Lennon.
Oh, look at you
I
with
know.
your continuing Beatle obsession.
It's not a Beatle obsession, and I've talked about this. Like I'm really interested in like their like how they created their music and like them as people.
Yeah.
But it's
Listen,
on
everyone out there, I'll
Derek.
get,
it's on my list.
I'll get you details.
Tim Chang,
about the intervention.
high on the list.
I'll get everyone details about the intervention about making Kelly admit she's a Beatles fan.
I'm not,
We'll
though.
get some details together for that.
Okay.
I'll
I mean, I
let everybody know.
might be by the end of this book, but I know who it is.
So it's like is it like a biography or is it?
It's written by James Patterson.
Sure, it's
So
not
yeah,
autobiography,
it's basically like it's his last days.
Cool.
And I don't mean that sarcastically.
Sure.
I haven't started reading it yet, so I'm sure it's like it maybe starts like after the Beatles broke up.
Gotcha.
And then he went on to do his solo stuff. I think they spent a lot of time on talking about double fantasy. But I don't know because I haven't read it yet. But I'll let you know.
Gotcha.
It doesn't seem like a quick read.
No, I'm looking at it. It's one of those thin-paged long books that's going to be detailed for sure.
And the
So,
other book on my list, I read it years and years ago, but I just ordered a new copy. Round Ireland with a Fridge.
I have heard of this. I
And
don't know why.
It's about a guy
if I've heard
who
from
makes
you.
a bet in a pub
Uh-huh.
that he can't travel the circumference of Ireland in a month carrying a small refrigerator.
I'm already in love with it.
Hence the title.
And so you might extrapolate from that that the title of the story
Yeah.
is about that journey.
For the keen listener,
For critical listeners out
you
there.
will be able to glean that it has something to do with Ireland and a refrigerator. Which we call in Ireland a fridge.
In Ireland. We Irish.
Yeah.
refer
Well, you know
to
I'm
that.
going to come back with an accent.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Absolutely, 100%
Yeah,
when you return.
absolutely.
I can't
Have you
wait.
come over with like a
We
for like a
definitely-
wee spot of tea?
We definitely need to schedule a podcast recording like the day after you get back.
Oh my God, yeah.
that we can
maybe we should do
download.
we could do like a FaceTime live thing, like when I'm there.
Yes. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
There's a great TikTok trend of people like coming in and saying like day 1 of me watching all of the Austin Powers movies, and then it's like day 2 of me watching all of the Austin Powers movies. And they're like, yeah, baby, day 3 of watching all of the
That's-
Austin Powers movies.
I
And
love that.
It's really so I can see you.
It's gonna be,
that
yeah,
transition
the same
for you
thing.
from your
Yeah.
Irish visit. Yeah.
So we shall see. Still on the fence about my trip to New Orleans.
Okay.
I guess we're gonna see how this new variant plays out.
Yeah.
I had somebody say to me the other day, well, you should get COVID before you go.
Oh, for God's sake.
Because then you'll have it.
Like
And
a
I wanted to
chickenpox
explain
party.
to them, like, yeah, exactly. That doesn't end the pandemic. Like, it's not like all the germs are like, well, Kelly Coffee hasn't gotten it yet, so I don't know what we're gonna do. It's not over yet.
There's some country star who was supposed to headline a show, and he got COVID for the second time, and they had to drop out of the show or whatever.
I think
and,
we're all
that's
just
happening
doomed.
a lot now.
We're all just doomed, right?
Just embrace it. Yeah. While I was at the drugstore getting my booster, I bought 2 home tests because they had them. And I was
Ooh.
like, give them to me. I'll take them. We'll see.
What drugstore? Leave me. All of a sudden,
Kelly has perked
come
up.
back to life.
It was the Kenny Drug in Milton. They had a box of them, and they were behind the counter. You had to like ask for them
I
because
see.
apparently people
Yeah,
were
it
just like
seems like
running.
a lot of work.
Yeah. So anyway,
fine.
yeah, I agree. I think that we're all just doomed to get it. I'm still banking on the fact that maybe we just had it in 2019
Oh, you've had
or
it.
2020, early 2020. We got it in Feb, and yeah,
I think you got it the end of 2019
Yeah, maybe
into
tail end.
2020.
yeah, maybe.
A
just
friend of
happy
mine
to
who
have been
had
sick.
it then,
Yeah.
undiagnosed, but thinking back,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretty much a doctor at this point. She was just diagnosed again.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, but she feels okay. A little bit of a headache.
that's good.
She said it to quote her again, I'm not going to name names.
Mm-hmm.
She said it feels like a small cold.
Oh, a small cold,
Not a mild cold, but a small cold.
a coldlet, if you will.
Un cold petite.
Well, we do still have a little bit of a bug going around up here. So we're just all going to have to deal with that.
Little bit.
A little bit.
So hey, happy 2022
Happy 22.
to everyone. That's difficult to say.
2022.
2022. Sounds forced.
The internet's really annoyed by the fact that it's just like a sequel to 2020. This is 2022.
Yeah.
Like, also TOO, different spelling. Everyone, hate to break it to you. 2022. It's a lot of twos, which is nice. It's appealing to look at 2022 in a way that 2021 was not.
I love even number years.
Same.
Right?
Yeah. We're also, I think, what season are we in of Bitter Coffee now as we enter 2022?
Oh, gosh.
Are we calling this the new season?
You know what? Yeah.
Okay.
I
like
guess
it.
so. Yeah.
I like it.
Welcome to season 6.
Hey, here we are.
Hey.
You made it. And thanks everybody for listening. We appreciate you. We do hope that you have a good year if that's what you want. If you're not really that excited about
It's
having
fine.
a good year, also totally fine. If you have resolutions like one Mr. Tim Chang, great. Also, recommend if you want to do that, do what Tim has done and assign yourself some resolutions that are completely within your control.
I've already adopted Dingbat.
I think Tim has already been successful by sharing it on the podcast. Dingbat is back, baby.
Let's thank some people.
Let's do it.
I want to thank Michele Polarity, the Polarity Foundation,
Thank you, Michele.
whose generous donation makes this podcast possible.
And whose guest appearance today was wonderful and appreciated.
And Doggy Styles Pet Grooming, located at 925 Roosevelt Highway in Colchester. You can call or text them at 802, I don't know where that accent came from, 802-654-7387.
That was the accent of Colchester, England, I believe.
Oh, it was Colchester, Ireland.
Just came through to you.
But it sounded very Australian. My British always sounds Australian. Anyway, here's a thought. And I guess we'll probably do this when the weather is warmer based on how we would probably do this. How about let's look towards the spring.
Okay.
Do a remote show from Green Mountain Foster Bikes.
Oh, we
Would that be fun?
totally should do that. Yes, 100%.
Hit the Virginies head on.
Head on out to Virginies.
Yeah. I guess we'd have to ask them.
I bet they have a bunch of bike bells that we could potentially employ. Yeah. Ching, 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 ching. Yeah. I love that idea. Let's do it.
So let's thank Green Mountain Foster Bikes, giving rebuilt and donated bikes to foster kids in Vermont. They're located at 10 North Main Street in what town?
Virginies.
They are also the home of Little City Cycles, a place to find your new friend in a magic bike. Give them a call at 802-877-3000. Did El Diablo connect with?
I wanted to follow back up with him and see if he had connected with Green Mountain Foster Bikes.
Okay.
I do not know. I will check in, and John will reach out to me because he listens to the show.
Okay.
So, John, let us know if you ended up connecting with those folks. We'd love to hear about it.
And Tim and Tanya, let us know what you thought of El Diablo. I've never met him, but I hold him in very high regard.
Great guy. Good guy.
Thanks, you guys. We made it through 2021.
We did.
As Tim Chang said. And hopefully, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.